Warehouses are created in inventory management, just like the sites. They're found underneath the setup folder, and then inventory breakdown, and then warehouses. To create a new warehouse, click the new icon and give the warehouse a number or a name. Each warehouse must be linked to a site, so in the Site drop-down box, I'll link my warehouse to the Fargo site that I just created. The type field is important. This is where you'll select which type of warehouse you are creating. After you've created the warehouse and saved it, this value cannot be changed, so it's important to select it immediately after creating the warehouse. For this example, I will leave it as default. I'll also create a quarantine and transit warehouse next for you and link them to my default warehouse. You can optionally link a warehouse to a vendor. This is useful if you have vendor-managed inventory in a particular warehouse. The Master Planning tab has settings that control how master planning will work for this particular warehouse. And the Inventory and Warehouse Management tab has settings that control default locations such as the default receipt, default issue, and empty pallet locations. These settings are discussed in more detail in the Warehouse Management for Microsoft Dynamics AX course. The Locations Name tab allows you to set up some defaults of how you want locations to be structured. Again, these are discussed in more detail in the Warehouse Management for Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 AX course. The Address tab allows you to add in a specific address. If the address is left blank here, it would fall back to the address that we specified on the site. Likewise, if you left the address blank on the site, it would revert to the address that you specify here. It's added in the same way by clicking the Add button. The Hierarchy tab will show you the hierarchy, much like we looked at the hierarchy on the site form. Now you can see underneath Site 7, I have one warehouse for the Fargo warehouse. The Retail tab includes settings that are specific to the point of sale retail functionality. If this is a retail store, you would mark the checkbox and select additional options that are specific to retail management. The Warehouse Management tab includes additional settings and options that are specific to the new Advanced Warehouse Management process in AX 2012 R3. For more information about these settings, refer to the Warehouse Management in AX 2012 R3 course. The last tab is the Picking Workbench tab. This tab contains settings that will be defaulted for this particular warehouse when using the Picking Workbench. We'll discuss these settings later in the Picking chapter in the Distribution and Trade course for Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 R3. I'll go ahead and create a new quarantine warehouse. I'm going to call mine 71Q so that I can tell quickly and easily that this is the quarantine warehouse. I'll link it to the same site and make sure to select that the type is quarantine. When you select the quarantine or transit warehouse option, you'll notice that the quarantine and transit warehouse fields become disabled. If I go back to my Warehouse 71 Fargo warehouse, I can now select that the quarantine warehouse is available for that particular site. Now, anytime a new quarantine order is created for items that are received into Warehouse 7, will automatically be placed into Quarantine Warehouse 71Q. Similar functionality exists to add a transit warehouse. I'll see you in the next module.